Hello, I'm Trevor Boria. You remember that thing we worked on all last week in this building? I hate it. So we're gonna renovate. I thought that'd be like bigger, more entertaining. I don't know. There's a lot more building left than I thought there'd be. I've rebuilt the building. Kind of. Not fully. And then I spent 5 hours rebuilding the system, walking you through it step by step, showing you what I was doing. Went to edit the video, found out it's the same video I made last week. Same system, different size tanks, man. That's it. I added an ice crusher for priming the tanks. It just plumbs right into the top pipe. Not really anything interesting. I'll put this little valve, so we crush the ice, and then we warm up the gas, and then we open that valve. And then today, I rebuilt the water setup. Same thing, exact same system we had before, man. Didn't need to explain it to you. We did add more rads, obviously, and that's cooling down the room. I got a comment from someone. I don't know if we're supposed to say people's names on the internet, and it said, I wish we could shoot fire out of a pipe to warm up a room. And I was like, that's a great idea, man. Why can't we shoot fire out of a pipe to warm up a room? Well, because you light the room on fire. However, I added this furnace, right? And our ice crusher's in there, and our vacuum sealed. No, it's not vacuum. Carbon dioxide sealed room that is temperature controlled to -10 degrees, where it drains the water into this vent. Where it drains the water into this pipe, into this tank. Right? So I also built this furnace where we can melt ice, which also goes into that tank, which has this rad, the first rad. We don't care about that right now. The exhaust pipe off our ice melting furnace goes this way with the turbo pump and then out the same vent for the ice crusher, but also has this little valve that goes all the way around the room to these rads, and the rads are like a sealed unit. So right now our room is 26 degrees Celsius. Open the fuel valve, put some fuel in, light the furnace, turn the valve, close the valve. You don't want to let it all out at once. And boom, we're already 36 degrees, man. 39 degrees, man. 40. And as for all the extra exhaust and heat and stuff we created, we just turn that turbo vent on and it goes away. And for evacuating the rods, we just open that valve again and it goes out. I'm gonna leave it in there right now because I need to heat the room up. So that's cool. That's all our greenhouse gases and water taken care of. But I also rebuilt this on the other side of the base to control our living area. This room's not as big because we don't have any water going on in here, right? Like the water that we're gonna drink is part of the greenhouse water. We'll look at that in a second. I guess we should go make sure none of the base is exploding. Nothing has exploded. Everything's pressurizing the way it should be. However, my giant airlock appears to be a problem, right? That is the greenhouse. That is the base. This is a giant airlock in between the two, because I thought that'd be cool, and I like it. However, this room is holding like 13 kilopascals of pressure, depending on the temperature of the room it's venting from. We have these little pipe analyzers to see what's going on inside the room I'm not currently in, which would be the greenhouse in this case, and it's at 49.1 kilopascals with a temperature of 300 Kelvin. My problem is, before I cycled the airlock to go into the base, this area was at 40 kilopascals, so that fluctuated 9 kilopascals, and that's not the correct temperature yet for growing anything, so I don't think this giant airlock plan of mine is going to work. There's also a lot of air swirling around in that room, and that concerns me greatly as well. Like inside the base right now, we're at 25 degrees, which is fine, and 69 kilopascals, which is the maximum pressure for this room. Actually, it's a little higher than the maximum pressure for this room. And if we go cycle that door, that's gonna jump up a whole bunch, wasting a bunch of air when the regulator decides to regulate the pressure. We also added tanks for our airlock ventilation vents, and they definitely help depressurize the room faster. Repressurizing it doesn't seem to make a difference, but depressurizing is way faster because it pumps into that tank and then over time empties back in the other room, and that's cool. That worked well. I don't, oh, that was a comment. Again, somebody else suggested that might work, and it did, sort of. Half works, makes it better. I don't know what to do here. I don't think this giant airlock room works, and that bums me out, man. Should we shut that door? And that room's at 89, 90, 91, 92. That room is way over pressurized. In fact, it's on the verge of exploding. And there's a regulator that'll just drain all that extra pressure. I'm gonna let the pressure in this room equalize, and then I'm gonna cut the ventilation pipe into the room. So what'll happen is when we cycle the airlock, the gases and pressures, why would I specify what's in an airlock, are gonna cycle into the tank, and it'll just be held there until we cycle back into the other room, and then it'll be pumped back in. I don't see why it's not gonna work. I know there's a reason it's not gonna work, but I don't see what it is. Good. Okay. I'm gonna test this out a few times and try and grow a potato. We have a storm outside. We're gonna face the wall. Save, leave session, reload, storm is gone. Haha. I hope that was helpful. I hope that works for you. I do it all the time. What have I done today? The big vent depressurizes the room to this tank. And then when we cycle back to that room, it'll vent it out of that tank. And everything should be fine. But also, I've put this little valve in to this vent. So when that door is open, I just open that valve for a second and close it. I know it seems like a pain, but the room is so big that it messes with the temperature and the pressure. So probably not the best setup. Cool, right? All of our main power cables run underground, and I've got this cool trench that goes all the way to the base. The word I'm looking for is base. Cool. Anyway, and that's kind of a pain whenever I'm trying to tie a new circuit into it. So under the base is now hollow, which makes it a lot easier. In fact, a whole bunch of the floor is hollow. Like a giant ductwork, I guess. Just for power. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Starting to seem like less of a good idea now. I don't know why, but I feel like at some point I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna pull up this floor grating, do something to the floor, and lose all the pressure out of the base, and kill all the potatoes I planted today. This wasn't a tutorial video. Did I remember to say that? Probably cut that in at the beginning somewhere, eh? Base is now operational. And I think that's cool. Like, we're finally growing. I didn't build a kitchen. I'll do that. Yeah, it's gonna be boring. I'm not gonna show you that. I mean, unless you want me to show you building a kitchen, in which case we can build a kitchen together. I don't give a. This weekend, we're gonna start our next major project. Major? Mega? What am I trying to say? This weekend, we're gonna start our next mega project, which is finishing this furnace. I don't know why I forgot the word furnace. I don't know, man. It's been a long week. All our gas rendering for the furnace is gonna be done underground, underneath our new indoor testing facility. So I started digging a big hole. I don't know how that's gonna be edited together, but cool. So that's what I did this week. I accidentally remade 2 videos we've already made. I got the base running. We have some potatoes growing. The power cables are easier to get to. I don't know. Well, I guess I rebuilt all that stuff I blew up. So in short, this weekend, more mega projects. Thank you for watching my video. You have a good day. Not all gamers are pro.